Hi everyone, welcome to Channeling Love. I'm Diane and this is today's angel message. Okay, so I'm going to start I'm not going to ask any questions at all. I'm just going to connect. I'm also not going to promise anything. I might do a pick a card, but that might not happen. Okay, so what do we need to know today? Peaceful warrior. Okay, so what we need to understand today is that it's important for us to stand our ground sometimes. Sometimes we need to be really, really clear about what our objectives are. It could be something in the material, physical world. It could be something that you're dealing with in terms of work, in terms of a home situation, a family situation, a relationship, a friendship group. But there is always a way to stand our ground peacefully, but to stand our ground, to not, that it's not always the time to compromise. Sometimes it is time to actually stand up for what you believe in, to be the person you came here to be, or to have your voice heard, to express your opinion in the situation, to make sure that your thoughts are taken into consideration. And today is such a day. It's a day to be the peaceful warrior, to be very, very clear, and to get your message across in a loving and peaceful way. Okay. Notice the synchronicities around you. Notice everything in the universe that's conspiring to bring you to your good, to bring you to the path that you're on. So it could be that you are trying to stand your ground about the things that you believe, about what you believe about your life path, and that you're feeling pulled off that path, or you're feeling as if you need to justify yourself in some way. But if the universe has got your back, if you're seeing signs and you're seeing synchronicities that are leading you in that direction, then you know that you need to stand up for something. You might also be seeing signs and synchronicities that are showing you where something is wrong. Someone else's assumptions or calculations are not quite right. And maybe you do need to express that before things get, a bit wonky. And maybe that is something that you absolutely need to do in a loving way, because it's happening not because someone's trying to be difficult, but because they're acting in ignorance and they need your help and your support. So whatever the case is, tune in, meditate on this. Of course, trust your own judgment. Don't trust anything that anyone else says, even this reading. Trust your own judgment and connect in with the divine and see what's flowing for you and what's offering you a helping hand. Where is God leading you? Where is the divine leading you? And then when you know that it's what feels absolutely right, don't be afraid to stand up for what you feel and know to be true. Okay, so what else do we need to know, Spirit? What else is happening today that's really important? What's essential for us to know? And what do we need to act on today? What do we need to act on? Great, I just heard stop really clearly. Okay, lost in the ruins of the past. We need to act on a fear of moving away from the past, a fear of letting go of the past. It doesn't matter what it was, who did it, what they said, what they did, what happened. You may feel as if you've made terrible errors of judgment. You may have lost everything. You may have lost the respect of people around you. You may have, friends and family who doubt you. You may be doubting yourself. Step away from those ruins. At some point you have to just, stand up, shake yourself off, look around you and decide that there is another day ahead. There are other things possible, that your whole life is still before you, and that there is always hope. Something else could always happen. So it's really important to take action on that today. And for some, it will mean taking practical steps, whether that is the final stages of leaving, a job that you've already left, or a home situation. Maybe you left some of your things behind and you need to get them and bring that energy back, to yourself. Maybe it's a conversation that you need to have. So, and it could be, it's time to find a therapist and start working through issues, bigger issues from the past, from childhood. But it's time to step away from the ruins of the past and acknowledge that what once was is no longer, and should no longer be playing in your vibration and taking up space in your head. One more, I'm hearing one more. Awaken all your senses, slow down and become aware of them. So it's also a day to take your time to become more aware, and to allow that awareness to begin healing you. So as you connect with yourself and you connect with your feelings, you connect with your heart, and you are aware of what your senses are telling you and taking in, you begin to recognize yourself as a being who's capable of feeling and sensing your way through life. And if that leads you to an understanding that there are actions you need to take in order to be fully present, then you need to take those actions today. Okay, that's how those cards work together. That's what I'm feeling about those cards. It's also a good day to nourish yourself through the senses as well. So what is it that you need to do to treat yourself? If it feels like a very difficult step you need to take in order to move away from the past, what self-care can you indulge in? Is it a really long soak in the bath with candles and incense and essential oils? Is it a beautiful long walk? Is it wearing something that you feel really good in? What support can you give yourself as you make these difficult choices and decisions and take these difficult actions to move into a better, brighter future? I'm going to choose a message from the little book of daily guidance that I'm asking, and a number's just dropped into my head. It's number 181. I have no idea what that one is. I feel as if I've memorized some of these now because I've been using this for a while. But okay, so this one, digestion. Okay, notice any recent changes in your appetite or in your taste in food and liquids. So this is definitely about the senses, isn't it? And what we take in through the senses. So you might need to make some dietary changes, or you might actually notice that you've changed your diet recently and that you've been using food in a way that's unhealthy, and that might help you to acknowledge that it's time to make a change. So, that can put you to sleep. That can numb your feelings. That can help us to block out the actions that we need to take and hide away from that. So you're being asked to connect with spirit, heart and soul through the cries of your body, and notice where you're taking in poison in your life. And that is very much connected to the senses, because they will tell you immediately if something is not good for you. Yes? How does it taste? How does it smell? What are my ears telling me? So you'll always know when something isn't quite right. And for some of you, this will be a reminder that there were certain things in the situation that is in ruins now that you were aware of through the senses, but you chose to ignore. But that's a part of your spiritual journey and your spiritual learning anyway. And so this is an opportunity to go forward in the future, trusting what you sense, trusting what you become aware of through the senses. Yes? Slowing down and noticing things in future, so that as you go forward, this is never going to happen again in quite the same destructive, awful way. Okay, so I hope that means something to you. I'm going to just do a quick pick a card now. So I remembered this time. So just close your eyes and ask yourself, am I group 1, 2 or 3? So I'm asking Spirit for a message about how each group can effectively step away from the ruins of the past, from anything that doesn't serve us on our journey, and move into a beautiful, bright future. Okay, so if you're group 1, if you haven't decided, you can pause the video for a minute and come back to it. Group 1, express your creativity. Group 1, it could be that in the past you went through so many difficult, dark things that you lost sight of who you were as a creative being. It could be that you stopped trusting your creativity and your creative gifts. You know, you stopped painting or drawing or singing or dancing. You stopped being a joyful being. You stopped making beautiful things. You know, it could be creative entrepreneurship. It could be you stopped having great creative ideas. You know, everything just came crashing down, and it just felt as if you couldn't feel your way back into that creative heart, that sense of joy, that sense of self-expression. And you're being asked to reconnect with that today, to reclaim yourself, to release the past, and to step that, you know, the past that told you that you weren't good enough, that your gifts were not substantial enough, or that, you know, your gifts didn't make sense, or that you were wasting your time. Step away from that. Any voices, naysayers, you know, people who would put you down, any criticism. So for some of you, this feels like a relationship that was quite destructive. Reclaim your creativity. It's never too late. Take those gifts back, embrace them, enjoy them. Pick up that guitar again, or pick up that paintbrush, or start writing that next chapter. Do that today, and that could help you to remember who you are, and then to take those final steps to move away from the past. You know, you could do it from the positive side, yes? And let that positive energy help you to realise that, hang on a second, I'm much bigger than this. I don't need that past situation. I don't need to hold on to those thoughts. Okay, group number 2, your way to move away from the past and build dreams in the future is to love and accept yourself. Love and accept everything about yourself, including everything that you've been through, everything that you feel you've destroyed or wasted, or everyone that you feel you've disappointed, everywhere that you feel you've let yourself down, all the chaos, all the mistrust, all the confusion, everywhere that you feel you have not lived up to your potential, everywhere that you've looked at yourself in the mirror and thought that you weren't worthy, or you weren't ready, or you didn't have the right look. Love and accept yourself as you are, and do whatever it takes for you to learn to love yourself again and start to step away from the ruins of the past. Okay, group number 3, your way is to take a leap of faith. So for you, it's much more dynamic, it's much more straightforward, it's much more clear cut. It's that you have a dream, you have a vision, it's very clear, you know you need to make a leap of faith into that bright future, but you're just still holding on to some of those memories, some of those things that you think, oh, maybe I could have done this a bit better, or maybe, oh my goodness, did I make the right mistake back there, or did it not work out for a reason? Maybe that not happening was to show me that it wasn't the right path. All of that sort of energy. You just need to make your mind up that you can absolutely do this and take a leap of faith into the future that's waiting for you. I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. So ask the angels to do that with you, to support you, to hold your hand, to guide you, to guide your path forward, and just go for it. Okay, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day or evening, depending on when you're watching, and we will be back soon. Bye.